in this episode.
Yeah, the movie ends and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Is this what I've become?
I could have been doing crack, like literally anything but this would have been a better use of my time.
Welcome. You're listening to Paleo Cheese Podcast, episode 23, part 1, with Jason Brant, bad movies, marketing, and virtual reality.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jeremiah Bannister.
And I'm Chad Lutsky.
And you're listening to Paleo Cheese Podcast, part of the Project Entertainment Network. We have an amazing show, Chad, and we even have a special guest, dude.
We do. We have Mr. Jason Brant. Jason is one of the co-hosts of Final Guys podcast, as well as the YouTube channel So Bad It's Good. Well, I guess the channel technically is called Jason Brant, but the show on there, the hilarious show, So Bad It's Good. In between drinking beer, obsessing over aspect ratios, and trying to figure out why he can't remember movies he's seen. He also writes books. Some of his books include the Asher Benson series, the Hunger series, the West of Hell series, and a few standalones. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Jason. Come tomorrow. I hope you remember our time together.
I knew you didn't drink, so I didn't start drinking until right now.
Okay.
On a Friday, that is impressive for me.
All right. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I got to say, man,
One
before
day
we
at a
even
time.
talk anything really serious, because we get really serious on this show, man. But
Good tell.
the colors, yeah, we do. No, but the colors behind you, man. I was actually telling Chad, he shared some videos and said, hey, you got to watch this, before the show. And I said, the first thing, man, I noticed right away is I said, the lighting. So the lighting is like super awesome. And I'm looking behind you and you got that nice blue glow back there. And then it turned green. And I thought, dude, I love it, man. Yeah.
Thanks. There's just some lights behind my couch, but it actually annoys me the way it like hits this wall over here. So I'm probably going to redo it soon. But
Well, it
thanks.
looks cool. Yeah. It gives like a mystical thing, dude. Like you're some kind of magi or something.
wizard. Yeah.
You're a sage, and now it's going dark and everything else. I have it too. I have some light behind me, but one of them, if I have it on where it's changing colors, it changes in front. It like bounces off the wall. And it will brighten my face, and then it goes really dark, and it's super confusing. When you're doing it live, you're like, "What's happening? Did a light go out?" And I kept wondering if my lighting in front of me was going out, man. But I noticed it. I know it's a little off topic, but I thought, man, it looks awesome, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, it is cool. I've got the same kind of lights. They're like, I can't remember what they're like, a strip of LED lights, but they go around my desk. So, which is kind of a bummer because when I film, like my desk is in front of me. I never, get to see any of that. And
Yeah, I have
behind me.
LED strings. I have a bookshelf that goes around my ceiling that you can't see, but I've got an LED strip behind them that makes it look pretty cool. But
That's what
Can't
I
see
wanted
it.
to do too.
Yeah, I did it myself, so it kind of looks like crap, but the idea was cool.
Well, it's not hard to do if you hide the lights. Like you don't want to look right at them, and them things hurt.
Yeah.
Hide them behind some kind of strip of molding or lip of some sort. But yeah, they do look cool. For those who haven't been watching Final Guys, and I had mentioned on here, I think once or twice, I talked Jason does this thing where on the Final Guys, he tortures himself and watches
That's true.
a series of a franchise. You've done like is it Critters, and I'm drawing a blank now. Any of them that you did? Children of the
Ghoulies.
Corn.
Ghoulies was
It was rough.
So I think that you asked for suggestions one time, and I offered Amityville Horror because I knew there was a lot of them, and then I offered to watch them with you, and you let me talk you into that, and I wish you hadn't.
Yeah, I
We're
had respect for you until that moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I've told you that I grew up with the first one and have pretty, I have a nostalgic attachment to it. I know it's not a great movie, but it's that, nostalgia that does it for me. And I did see the second one before, didn't remember a lot about it. And then I saw the third one in the movie theater when it first came out. I was like 12, maybe 13. I didn't remember Meg Ryan was in it. I was shocked when I saw that.
Yeah.
But I had never seen any other one.
There's a reason.
Yeah. And I knew there was a lot of them. But we're on the 11th or 12th one now, something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know. So I wasn't going to do them right away because I had looked it up, and it's not really a series of films because the Amityville name can just anybody can
Right.
put it on any movie. So I guess the first couple are connected, but was it after 4 when it just turned into, oh, this is a haunted object from the house that
Yeah,
is in a city now.
right.
So there's just so I was
But
going to
there-
put that series off, and you just kept in the chat Amityville. I'm like, fine.
Well,
No.
plus I found a list that just listed ones that actually had something a little bit to do with the house. Because
Mhm.
I think that because it's a name of a city, you can just toss that around on any you can't say Amityville horror, but you can do Amityville dishwasher or whatever you want. Apparently,
Yeah.
I would watch that.
So
Yeah.
so I found a list that was that was like 12 or 13 films long, including one that came out in 2020. And as we near the end of this torture, I find out that movie is out, and I didn't know that. So it's like right when we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it just feels so good. It's like, oh, somebody comes in the chat and says, "Oh yeah, the Amityville Harvest is out." I'm like, why'd you tell me that? We were almost done.
Well, we need to do the remake soon because it's going off Prime, I think, on the 2nd or 3rd of November.
Oh, really?
So we should probably
Okay.
do that for this week anyway.
Yeah. Through these, we've pretty much agreed on what ones were the worst and which ones were okay. Like the second one, had some cool body horror and but dude, I'm a little shocked when I saw The Awakening. I legitimately enjoyed it, and so when you didn't, I was shocked that you didn't like it
it wasn't
at
a
all.
pile of garbage, but I think your standards have just lowered so much from
Over
watching
time.
It's
it
possible. It's possible.
that you watched a movie that was a 5 instead of a 2. And you were
Yeah.
like, hey, this is pretty. It's not that I hated it. It was an okay movie. It just something didn't jive. Like it
Right.
just felt like it didn't gel for me. And it had good parts. It had several
Mhm.
good parts. It had a great idea, but it wasn't super entertaining for me. So it was fine.
Right.
On the Amityville scale, it's top of the heap.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
Is it the most
it's hard.
painful of the series, like of the different franchises that you've watched? Is it as bad as others? Is it better? Like, are there any redeeming qualities to this at all? Like, what are you coming out of this with, man? At the end of it all, you're like, you come out and everybody's waiting to hear what you got to say, man. Like, what are you bringing to the people?
I don't know why I'm doing this at this point. I initially started because I wanted to watch Friday the 13th again. And so I watched those. Oh,
That's
let's
always
watch.
fun.
Yeah, those are great. Let's watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, those got pretty bad at the end, but all right. Then we did Halloween, and then it just turned into, I did Maniac Cop. And now it has just turned into this slog that's going to go on for the rest of my life. But Amityville, of everything I've seen, might be the worst series. This
Really?
might be the worst series ever.
Worse than Children of the Corn?
I think it might be worse than Children of the Corn.
Or
And I watched
Hellraiser?
all of those. It's
Wow.
equal to, if nothing else. Children of the Corn was pain. Like that was just pain. But
Yeah.
this is just a series of unconnected, terrible movies.
Yeah. I would like to say we're going to end on a high note with that, but I know that's not going to happen. It's just not going to
No.
happen.
The story
If-
is not going to end happily.
If The Awakening was the last one, then it'd be like, okay, that's cool. There's a little redemption there, but we've got a couple more, and I don't mind the remake. I remember enjoying it, except for one like kind of subplot, but I thought it was well done.
I wanted to watch a different movie, and you're like, oh no, let's do Amityville Haunting. Let's watch that instead. So I put that on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jump off an overpass like halfway through this movie.
Man, yeah, my apologies.
This
I
is
didn't
the
realize
worst
it was
one.
The worst one.
This is the
Oh,
worst one.
it's the worst of them all.
It is so bad. Like,
Wow.
you could shoot this movie in 2 hours. You just shoot it in real time, just people talking. Like it's bad. There's so many shots that aren't in focus. I'm like, what? It's-
At the beginning of the month when I decided to do the 21 Days of Terror thing, at the time before I was, I wasn't watching a horror movie every day, but I was almost every day I was throwing on like either some Italian horror or some 70s horror or some just B movie stuff, something to just kind of fall asleep to and take a little cat nap. Not to really pay that much of attention to. And because I was in that mode of watching those types of things, I tried to fill up my 31 Days of Terror with mostly with films I hadn't heard of before, but older ones. Dude, that was a huge mistake because I've watched more garbage this month than I've seen in years. I mean, I have 3 of that might be tied for the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, all just this month. And
give me titles.
To get something, I gave you the one, Deathbed, the Bed That Eats.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Another one is Invasion of the Blood Farmers.
What?
Yeah, it's bad. It's from 70-something. And the other one, I don't know if I would. This is a 1 for me, not because it was bad per se, but because I don't like torture porn, and that's what this felt like. And I watched it because it was getting late. I hadn't done my horror movie for the day yet, and this was only like an hour long. And I heard Jack talk about it, and he liked it. Jack Cambisi. So
He's an idiot, though.
I watched Found Footage. Have you seen that yet?
Found Footage 3D?
Found Footage. No, it's definitely not 3D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's on Amazon, and it's the acting is good for Found Footage. It's not bad, but it's really bad. I heard him talk about it on an episode at one point, and I thought, well, I'm gonna check that out. If he likes it, maybe I'll like it. And it was hot garbage. It's about a serial killer.
Does it get to the point, I don't know if you guys have ever done like a cold shower challenge where you're like, oh, for 30 days, I'm going to do cold showers and stuff. And after like the first day, you're like, dang, son, this is like really cold. And then the second day you're thinking, I'm not really that sweaty. The third day, the wife might be like, did you smell like some poop? You're like, oh, it's okay. I showered a couple days ago, I think. And it's this feeling of not wanting to do what you've committed to, and you're kind of like, it was maybe all right at first. Do you guys ever have that feeling? Right, when you're watching these movies, you're like, oh, so today's the next one. Oh no. And just kind of, is there an anxiety that comes along with that?
It's gotten old, and that's just because I picked such bad movies. And then the modern ones, some of the modern ones that I picked, like Annabelle, I thought, a lot of people talk about this. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see if I like this. Nope.
You didn't like Annabelle? I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list though.
It's like a movie made for kids. It's just got the cheap jump scares. It's not good.
Dude, my kids would be like, he's lying. This is a trick. Because they're like, dude, no, don't show that. Don't show that thumbnail.
It would scare young kids. But for someone who's used to horror films, it's just, to me, it was just horrible. But
the newest one wasn't bad. Annabelle Comes Home.
That's what people have been saying. Some people say that the third one's the best, or the best, but then some people say it was the worst. But I think I can tell some of those people might not understand it. Like I know people that kind of don't understand Tim Meyer certain levels of like artistic quality in a film or something that might be just a little bit.
Yeah, some people were dropped on their heads like Tim. As a child, their perception's just a little skewed.
I just told him today that he's never gonna. I brought up the Shining thing today, the Mick Garrison. I said, dude, you're never gonna live that down.
What I don't know what this is about, man.
Tim and I wrote a book together, and he is one of the final guys now. He's known for having poor taste in movies, not all of them. But
he's known for it.
Yeah,
everybody's like, oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like not liking the Blair Witch Project, but loving the second one, which he's alone. I don't know.
Dude, yes, he's the only guy.
Yeah.
There's no convention for that ever.
Not liking Kubrick's The Shining, but enjoying the made-for-TV miniseries.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. It says a lot. It's a snapshot.
You would think it's a joke, like he's playing. He's not.
Right.
He's not serious about that.
Yeah.
I understand when it comes to like age and nostalgia and stuff, but Tim's got so many of them, and then he'll be like, it'll be a really good movie, and he'll say he doesn't like it, or it'll be a really good movie, and he's like, I love this movie. I can't really figure him out. I can't. I would never be able to say, here, go watch this movie. I know you're gonna love it because I know you. But he surprises me.
He surprises all of us pretty much every week.
And Blair Witch. I mean, both of them obviously, but do Blair Witch, bro. I mean, it's not even remotely in the same ballpark. It's so dramatically different. I was enraged, dude, when I saw the second one.
Yeah,
I was infuriated, dude.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater and I was pissed.
Yeah.
I think I was even more pissed by, was it called The Blair Witch?
The one like 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
I'd never seen that many jump scares, and that was the whole movie. It was just jump scares.
I was very disappointed in that one.
Yeah, I think I was even more angry about that because I knew going in that Blair Witch 2 was not like a found footage thing. It was not like the first one, so my expectations were low.
Yeah, I don't know. To answer your initial question, Jeremiah, I would not be doing this if I didn't have a podcast. I'm somebody who I really enjoy bad movies, but man, after you watch Ghoulies 4, you're like, what am I doing? Like, I could literally be doing anything else.
It's like this real existential moment for you, you know. There's like sad music. You can imagine the whole scene. It's like sad music and you're by yourself on the edge of your bed wondering what life is about. You know, you're like, why am I doing this, man? Yeah,
the movie ends and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Is this what I've become?
I could have been doing crack. Like literally anything but this would have been a better use of my time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
but you're probably afraid of anything that has a sequel because it's like you're a completist now. So if you know something has more that you're like, I can't even watch the first one because I know I'm going to watch the next 18 of them.
Yep. That's exactly it. So whenever these buttholes are in the chat recommending movies, I'm like, God, now let's put it on my list. So, initially my list was like 10 series. Now it's 30. I don't even know. Maybe more. It's brutal. I've got a Swedish slasher series I have to watch now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even. It's here somewhere. It's bad. I've got so many crappy ones on here. I got Hellraiser's the one I keep putting off the most because.
Yeah, I noticed that.
God,
I think I've only seen the first 3.
I think I've seen 6 or 7 of them.
I've seen 0. I think I said it last week. Wasn't it last week, man? We were talking about, or 2 weeks ago, saying that the only thing I ever saw of it was like as a kid walking into the movie theater, and when you can kind of peek in the door and see what other people are watching, if your movie hasn't started yet or whatever. And I remember going in there, that scared the living daylights out of me. I was real little though, and going in and seeing Pinhead and being like, dang son, I'm out of here. Like, what kind of cult rituals happening in this movie theater? I had no idea.
The first 2 are good. They're good movies.
They're very good movies.
The first one, toward the end, the effects they're very dated. It's very 80s, like fireworks.
Like Children of the Corn.
Lasers
for Children of the Corn.
I don't even remember that.
Little better than the Children of the Corn at the end.
The lightning strikes are like drawn with crayon.
Yeah. It's not far above that, but yeah, it's a little better than that.
But it's a cool story, and like the first 2 acts are great, and then Hellraiser gets even darker. Or I'm sorry, Hellraiser 2 gets even darker.
Yeah, it's a disturbing movie. It's got really bad effects too at the end when they're somewhere else. It's just, but it's fun. It's like you can see. I almost said the artistic expression would make me sound like such a douchebag, but like you can see there's a higher level of filmmaking going on there than once you get into Hellraiser 6 and 7. You're like they're clearly just making this series so they don't lose the rights to Hellraiser. So they just keep making a movie every 2 years so they don't lose the rights.
Yeah, because they know there's suckers and completists out there that they got to have it.
Yep.
Didn't they make one where Doug Bradley isn't even Pinhead?
Yep. Can't wait to watch that one.
Oh boy.
It'd be like Keanu Reeves not being Neo.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, and we got this new one coming out, and it's this guy. It's like Nicolas Cage. What? Like,
yeah.
How did this happen?
And the guy has like a puffy face too. And I'm like, what?
Really?
What? You couldn't even cast somebody who's like laid off the cheeseburgers for a month. Like,
Yeah, if they're gonna pick somebody, because Doug Bradley, I'm sure he's probably got a kind of a hanging puffy face now. I mean, he's put on 40 years or whatever since the first movie. Well, not 40
yeah, been a long
years,
time.
maybe 35
33
years.
maybe, something like that.
Yeah. So if you're gonna get somebody else, get somebody that I don't know, is in shape for being in hell for so long.
Or you just pay the guy. I mean, there's only one reason people watch this, and it's for Pinhead. So
Yeah.
you replace him. It's like, what? This is why I don't want to watch it. It's going to be like the last movie series I do will be Hellraiser, because it will just break my will. And I know that will be it. And it's over. And I'll probably just end Final Guys and just go for a long walk in the woods.
Yeah.
Look out a window for 2 days.
It's another one of those sad moments, dude, with the music. This is what my life's become, and it's after the first occasion of that. So it's like it's doubled up, dude. It's like a double-decker poop sandwich. It's really bad.
Like every episode of the very end of The Incredible Hulk. Probably dating myself here, but that sad song where Bill Bixby is walking down the road with his coat or whatever, and playing that. I think the name of that song is actually something like Lonely Man or something like that.
Oh, really?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's going to be me. I'm just going to like Forrest Gump to the West Coast and back, like after this is over.
I got a question for you, man, about writing and stuff. Now, before we started doing the show, we were talking earlier about being in the same circles, but also different circles, and that you're a little bit more quiet as far as like, not doing anthologies and things like that, but just doing your own thing, and just this is you over here doing your own thing, and not as much networking, at least that I can see. And from what I gathered just from listening to you talk on Final Guys and stuff like that, do you do like Amazon ads? What's making it where you're able to even do this, as your job?
So yeah, I do advertising, but not necessarily networking. So yeah, I don't do anthologies. I'm not, trying to get somebody to put their name on my book and say how great it was or whatever. But I do advertising. I do targeted advertising. One of the biggest things I have is I have a newsletter that I've pruned it several times now, but it's still over 10,000 people. So I just have direct links to people who've already bought my books, who like it enough to have signed up to my newsletter. So I don't even have to rely on external advertising for new releases a lot of times. Sometimes I do. Like I've been really bad at sending out my newsletter the last 6 months since COVID hit, so I'm probably gonna have to rebuild it some more. But I do BookBub ads, not just featured deals, but I'm starting to tinker with targeting very specific people. So I might target people in Australia who read Google Play, and I'll target them for a first free book in my series, which I'm about to release the 6th one on. So I know what the read-through rate is on that series. So I know exactly how much money I can spend to give away a copy of the first book. And over, 5 books, I know exactly how much I'll make. So that's where I do most of my advertising. I occasionally do Facebook. I'm on and off with it. I really loathe that company, so I don't like giving them money. So Amazon is expensive. It's difficult. I'm trying to learn that better right now. I've got some box sets, so I can, I make a little more money per sale there. So I'm trying to tinker there. But I do really well in audiobooks too. I got a really good narrator who has a name, so that has sold a lot of audiobooks for me. Nice. So I just kind of release a bunch of crap, and then, the sum of all the parts ends up, I can make a living from it.
Now, do you think that because you're doing stuff that has such a wide, a large audience, and the fact that you're doing series, do you think that helps, or do you think it's just what you're doing? The reason why I ask is because, what the heck is the dude's name? Brian Cohen, is that his name? Was offering this the
advertising.
Yeah, like 7-day challenge or however long it was, where you learn about Amazon advertising and you watch these hours of videos and all this stuff. And I learned a lot about that. I had done Facebook ads before, not in the last like 2, 3, 4 years, but I had done them before. I'd never done Amazon ads, didn't even really try. And so I went through this whole challenge thing. I set up a ton of ads, learned a lot, didn't really, it's more like a break even every month for me.
Mhm.
I knew that I was like, okay, this is a free challenge thing. This is just a glorified infomercial. You know, there's going to be some expensive thing at the end, but I'm not going to get suckered into it. I'm clearly learning a lot. There's books on Facebook I can read, or for Amazon I can read about this kind of stuff. But nope, I dropped $350 after the end of the thing so that I can have the course where I can ask questions and all the other extra videos and stuff. And probably 2 days before, or maybe 2 days after I paid for that, all this stuff fell in my lap of where I had to focus on writing some stuff, and I had to do it like right now. So I haven't even really touched that thing I just paid $350 3 months ago for. But I did notice that a lot of, part of this Facebook page that's for the that challenge and for Amazon ads and stuff, and the Brian Cohen thing, I had wondered, is this just not for me because of my genre? Because I'm not doing zombies. I'm not doing, the military anything, or romance. I'm not doing, anything that has like that kind of like, or cozy mysteries. Nothing is in a series. It's a bunch of standalones. I have one book in a series, and that's it. Just the one, with the book. The second one's not out. So I started to wonder if it was a bad idea, because you had to have that kind of thing in order to be successful using that particular type of marketing. And so, yeah, my question is, do you think that helps, or do you think that kind of thing, what you're doing, the fact that you have the series, or you could just do that with any standalone, with any genre?
Series is huge, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I can take a loss promoting my first book, knowing I'm going to make it up in the back end. That is huge. So I can outbid people. But to be honest, I'm just getting into more and more of this pay to play crap that basically our industry has become. Yeah. But having series is huge. I mean, it's just absolutely huge. Even something like, I don't know, do you have audiobooks? Versions of your
4 or
stuff?
5 of them, yeah.
That makes a big difference too, because when I really hit advertising, particularly for Amazon, I sell a lot more audiobooks, even though I'm advertising Kindle books. So that can kind of add up to the bottom line too. But I don't even think you need to do that really to make money in horror. I think you need to produce a lot of content. I think that helps a lot. Is consistency. If you can release something every couple months, that's huge. And really, your newsletter, I think, is going to be the biggest thing for a lot of people. And
now with your newsletter, well, go ahead, finish what you're saying, man.
I was going to say, like, something you can do if you really want to build your newsletter quickly is, if you have a book you think you could get, say, a BookBub featured deal, and if like maybe for a freebie, like you're going to give one of your novels away for free, you're probably going to give away 10 to 20,000 copies of that book through that featured deal.
Yeah,
and you can, right at the end of your book, right at the end, like not even the next page, like
call to action,
and give away another free book for somebody to sign up to your newsletter. And that will grow you immensely, very, very quickly. And then you've got these people on the hook. And if you can figure out, if you're good at writing newsletters and you're good at just talking with people, you can make serious fans that you just have direct access to with an email. And then you can kind of skip a lot of the paid advertising. I mean, I think paid advertising is a big part of the industry right now, and it sucks, but that's definitely a way to get around it. And that's what I've been doing for the most part for several years, just growing my newsletter and using that.
I do have a newsletter. Jeremiah is just exactly what it sounds like. It's just about you. I mean,
I know what a newsletter is.
Oh, I thought you asked what. I thought you asked what do you mean
a newsletter? What, dude? No, I was gonna ask. No, I know what a newsletter is, dude. Yeah, but I was wondering, like, if you with your newsletter, is that something is it something you do through the website? Is it a feature that the host of the website, or that the platform you're using allows you to do, or do you use an external service for that? Like, how do you?
I use MailChimp.
Use MailChimp. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Because I created a website with Wix, and I've got a newsletter. People can subscribe to my newsletter But really all that is at this point is just if I post, it just goes to your email. It's not, but I want to actually make it like what you're saying, where you kind of get that skill set where you start actually putting together an actual newsletter and
which I'm
putting
terrible at.
But you're doing it.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah,
working
exactly.
on it. Yep.
You're working on it. And so, that's what I wanted to know. But yeah, man, I know what newsletters are.
I thought you said, what do you mean newsletter?
No, dude. I'd be a guy under a rock, man.
I'm gonna go
under a rock
when I edit this. If that is what you said, I'm gonna replay it. I'm gonna put it on a loop during the podcast.
Now with your newsletter. Now with your newsletter. Now with your newsletter. Yeah. In slow motion. What's a newsletter?
Now with your newsletter.
Yeah, I hate writing the newsletters too. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I'll wait a couple more days. And next thing I know, 3 weeks has gone by, and which I normally only do it maybe once a month anyway. And I only have around 1,000, I think, subscribers. But yeah, I mean, I'm at a point where I never thought I would be selling as many books as I do, but it's not enough to, live comfortably just doing that, which is what I'd love to be able to do. But I've seen, like, my friend Dan Panavana, I've seen him go from not selling many books to, making in profit like $4,000 a month just because he started to be able to how to do some of this stuff. And the fact that he's doing, he has a thriller series. Also, when I was doing I learned the book funnel stuff and all that, the newsletter, probably like 5-6 years ago. But I realized that it really wasn't working for me with what I had available. And so I stopped putting so much effort into that because I saw it working for people who had series, like first book for a year, first book 99 cents and things like that, and get them hooked in there. But my stuff just isn't like that. So, and there's no real, even the marketing for Amazon is hard for me when to do the ads, because people aren't necessarily, on Amazon searching for, books about, kids whose mother dies and he has a spelling bee coming up. Nobody's like, there's no real, it's kind of a curse to try to come up with something that hasn't been done before and then put it out there, and then now nobody can find it because it doesn't have that kind of extra thing. So I decided that, like, months ago, well, maybe I'll just kind of not necessarily write to market, but sort of, and do this vampire thing that I know I never would have done if it wasn't for trying to, write something that I was still proud of, but in using a theme that I normally wouldn't, just so that I could have a series. But then I started thinking, like what you said, where as long as you just have the content, just keep putting the books out. And I have several out, and so now I'm thinking, well, am I wasting my time with this vampire series where I could just be writing the stuff that I'm passionate about and just keep putting, and then you've got that trickle down effect where if somebody likes, your stuff and they start reading all of it, or series or not. But I think the advertising is a little bit more difficult when you don't have a series.
For sure is. It absolutely is. Yeah, I don't really pay for advertising for my standalones much.
Yeah.
Are you ever actually wasting your time writing about characters, valiant characters with sterling good looks and crystal blue eyes, Chad?
Not quite that bad.
Are you ever
this isn't
running the fingers through the hair kind of thing, as the hair blows in the wind?
No. This isn't Twilight. And I mean, my
not Twilight.
Patreon members seem to enjoy it, and it's me. It's clearly me.
Yeah.
You can tell it's me. It's just that if you knew me that well, you'd know, wow, that's strange that you're writing about something that has been written before. So yeah, it's just a little weird and kind of embarrassing. And I was even gonna even do it under a pseudonym because I was kind of embarrassed that I was gonna be writing something that has been done before. I even was like, my first couple sentences, I was like, I'm doing vampire erotica, and I started writing this paragraph, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do YA, and I wrote a different one, started a different one. It's like, no, I'm just gonna do this theme. It's gonna be me, and you'll be able to tell it's me.
Mhm.
But decisions, man. I don't know, but yeah, thanks for your input on that. I just
It
want
can
to
be
ask
done.
about that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Jeff Strand. He does mostly standalones, and he's doing all right.
Yeah, they're out there. They're out there,
But it's
and
tough,
like I
right?
said, I'm thankful to be able to get invited to anthos or have limited editions and things like that. So I'm not like totally unhappy, but I know that it could be better, and that's
I'm gonna
kind
grow the
of
pod. Start
Yeah.
driving Ferraris. I get it.
no, I am not I'm not a materialistic guy by any means, man. If I made a certain small amount, I would be happy. I don't want anything.
Says the
real
guy
big.
with the golden microphone. Dude, you had to upstand everybody with your golden microphone,
The
dude.
Mr. T of podcasters.
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? This is my belt buckle. So I'm dying to talk about something that I saw and or read this week. Jeremiah, what have you been doing?
What
Your time? Have you been doing crack?
Have I been doing crack, dude? Well, I've been. My sleep schedule would seem to indicate that maybe I've been smoking crack. I'm not getting much sleep,
Yeah.
which is really tragic, dude. I definitely like sleep. Although last night I stumbled on this thing, man, because I've just been struggling. I stay up really late and get my notes together for the next day, and then the next day I'm busy all day long, and then the kids are home, and I've had my kids. We got a tribe, okay? We got like a whole bunch of these kids.
Village. Yeah.
We have a little village, world domination on the way. But the thing is like, when you have this many kids, you end up having doctor's appointments, and they don't just schedule them, especially right now. They don't schedule them all at one time because you're only allowed to have one person, one guest with you. And by guest, it means like your mom. So you can't have my kids got turned away. My wife got turned away. They said, we can't see you today, because it was my son who was going to get seen, my wife, our 2-month-old, and our 20-month-old child. And they were like, that's just too many visitors. And she's like, we don't have any visitors. Like, there's nobody with us. But they spread them out, man. So we have like doctor's appointments all the time right now. And so I went, my son had an MRI because for human growth hormone. I know it sounds like scary, but human growth hormone, just to find out, is he, getting taller in time. And so I haven't been super busy, dude, there, you know what I mean? And seeing movies on the screen and a lot of Despicable Me stuff, and I'm like, kind of like that, on the whole Despicable Me thing. But we did watch, what's that?
Never seen them.
Well, you're not really missing out. I mean, it's like one of those things where people could watch it and be like, oh, it's a pretty decent movie. Kids like it and stuff, but it's really random. It just is not even in a cool way. It's just kind of like whatever. But I've watched a lot of that recently in the hospitals. And we watched Insidious, which I've seen before. I've seen part 1 and part 2 of that. I watched that. So that was really exciting. What's that?
I haven't seen part 2. I own the DVD, which I didn't even know I had. I'm always going through my DVDs and being like, I just rented American Werewolf in London the other day, or a couple weeks ago. Thought I had it. Nope. Yep. Found it like 2 days later. Insidious is one of them.
It's Insidious 2, like I get the idea that this one shows the kids more. And so, I mean, that's in the trailers and everything else. There's no, spoiler with that. In that they... So I've spoiled everything, but no, it kind of takes, so I get like the idea of we're taking it from the other side of the TV, right? We're going to get a peek into what's going on behind it. But again, I thought it compared to the first one, not even close, man, in my opinion. So I haven't been doing a lot of that. I've been reading more, still trying to finish that book, because I'm kind of chipping away at it. Not the speed reading one. That's just full stop break.
Really?
Yeah, my speed reading book, dude. You think I'm gonna get done with that within the next 3 years? You're not.
How long is it?
It's like, I don't know, 30 pages. No, I'm kidding. It's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick book, dude. And
what is there to talk about?
What's that?
What is there to talk about in that book?
About speed reading?
Yeah.
Oh, the different techniques that you do. you have to do different tests, and so like there's one
So there's
they'll
like
have
homework inside and stuff.
yeah, there's homework
Okay.
like you have to
Like
read
it's a
for
workbook.
it's a workbook. Yeah. And so
Okay.
you take your time going through it. You're not speed reading going through it, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you're reading it, and like the first chapter, for example, they will have you have to time yourself, and you have to read one selection. They give you the word count, and that selection is very scientific, very technical, a lot of numbers in there and everything. And then they
Yeah.
have you read a piece of fiction, and you time both of them. And then after you're done reading each one, it has a list of questions about specifics to see not only how fast you went, but your retention of that. And my kid scored better than I did on the retention. I was like, I'm not doing good. I thought I did good too. I was like, I got this, dude. I nailed it. And oh no, I did not. I did very badly. But but I've been reading because I'm getting ready for that NaNoWriMo, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for it. I'm
dude,
getting
every time you remind me that, I get so stressed out.
You write all the time though.
Dude, I know, but I've been writing the thing, and
yeah.
I've been having to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I get a little bit stressed, because I'm already a busy guy. I mean, I'm like through the roof busy, dude, and it's really, really rough. And so even just finding time to read, much less to write, anything beyond work is just really difficult. But I've been reading poetry. I read selected poems of Carl Sandburg, and so I really enjoy a lot of his poetry. I read, of course, been reading every day, even on the show. I've been reading the selections from Cautionary Tales and Bad Child's Book of Beasts, and it was hilarious, dude. Like, Jim, who ran away from his nurse and was eaten by a lion, or Henry King, who chewed bits of string and was early cut off in dreadful agonies. Like, these are hilarious stories.
It's the book you got from your mom, right? Or you showed your mom? Which one was it?
Yeah, it's the one I showed my mom, and my mom's like, "What are you reading?"
You were talking about that in early episode.
Yeah, and so I've been going through it, and just kind of, because it's good poetry and it's easy. It's small amounts and everything, but it kind of gets me into the feel for my style of writing, and even for almost not necessarily the age groups, because I don't want to say that that's I know it's a kid's book, but I think that it's really an adult book. And so, I've been doing that, but I stumbled on this video, dude, that has been helping me actually go to bed. And it's been pretty dope. It's one of those binaural beats, right? And I don't put a lot of stock into this. I'm kind of a little bit more scientifically minded about certain things. And at the same time, I'm like, dude, it's really helped me. I looked up REM sleep, and of course you got to scroll through all the band stuff. It's like, you're like, that's not going to help me, man. It's going to make me want to stay up and maybe lose my religion. But like, the thing is that yeah, it's stupid. It was bad. It was on the fly, dude. Forgive me.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I was actually working on that for a long time. I practiced that in the mirror before the show started. But
it is the end of the world as we know it. So.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no. Oh, but this music, dude, like, it's got that binaural beat, so it's like bum 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 bum, and it kind of goes on in both directions and stuff, and it's got this tempo, and it's got that kind of mystical sound. It's almost like Yanni, but not as sexy and stuff. And so it just plays this, and bro, I am sleeping like a baby within minutes of turning that bad boy on, man. And I'm thinking, dude, homie, this is a gold mine. I'm really grateful.
Some kind of subconscious representation of a womb.
Maybe, dude, like the heartbeat. Yeah, like it might be
the whooshing or whatever ambience that you.
And dude, I'd curl up in the old fetal position, man, and I'm all snuggled up in the blankies. And so, dude, I'm probably reliving that experience in the womb and stuff every night, dude. And I'm sleeping like a baby. I mean, for real. And so it's been kind of good, man, because I was walking around for a minute. Everybody's like, bro, you're looking hit. Your eyeballs are pretty jacked. Oh, one more thing. I played VR.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I played VR, dude, for the first time.
Like,
I'm kinda
just with that
critical.
headset. What was it called? The Oculus or something? That's what I think. That's the one I played.
Yeah, well, this place, man, in Grand Rapids, they actually have a facility that
Oh,
a
you
lot of
go
birthday
there.
parties and stuff, you know. And so we're at this birthday party, and you put them on, and there's a whole bunch of people, you know, doing their thing and all connected, looking like the Matrix and stuff. And I played a couple different games, and I went out on a limb. They were like, "Oh, you know, you should try Home." And I thought, well, that sounds fun. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like the, you know, the International Space Station. I'm thinking, dude, that sounds kind of fun. Oh yeah, until, you know, part of the space station breaks off and you go flying out into the universe and
Did you
you're
get nauseous?
spinning. Oh, dude, I got dizzy, man, and nauseous. I had to like focus, and I'm looking at one place and I'm thinking, you know, remembering back to my ballerina days and when I was a break dancer spinning on my head and stuff, thinking, dude, I gotta focus or I'm gonna puke. And I never did either of those things, but I imagined that I did, and it helped. It really helped, and I didn't puke. But it was a good time, dude. And actually, it was a lot of fun. You know, I still have criticisms. You know, I'm really leery of I don't know what the movie is. I think it's Bruce Willis, where they get inside of those containers and they're living kind of an avatar almost.
Surrogates?
Is it Surrogates?
It's called Surrogates.
Yeah, you know, I fear that, you know, I fear the day and age how, you know, walking into a house and everybody's just sitting on the couch, all zoned out, vegged out, looking into a thing connected to their face. I mean, that to me is creepy. I'm like,
We have that now with phones. You walk into a restaurant, everybody's staring at their phones.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate that though.
I do too.
It's one thing to see them staring. It's another thing if they start playing their music or whatever out loud for everybody else to hear. That is, dude, I can't take it.
I have a VR headset. I love it, but for them to put you in that as your first experience is dumb, because that's you moving without walking around is artificial locomotion, and that's what gives everyone motion sickness. So they should not have just picked that for you to do first, because nobody can just stomach that right away.
I was like,
yeah, you want a game or an experience where when you physically walk around your room, your character walks around at the same time, so you don't get that motion sickness, or something where you can kind of teleport around. Like I've got some where you go up on, you know, the highest mountain peaks in the world, and you can kind of teleport your way up there and stand on them and just kind of look down, and it's photorealistic. It's super cool. Yeah,
dude,
I have a really good zombie game that's a ton of fun. If you ever think you can survive the zombie apocalypse, play a zombie VR game where you actually have to rip headshots, and you're like, yeah, I would die in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you're done,
Yeah.
dude. It's over.
My son has VR, and he has a zombie on there game on there. I can't remember what it's called because the name of the game is just weird for a zombie game, but something like Arizona
Sunshine. Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah. That's fun, man. That's a lot of fun.
It is. I like it.
Yeah.
Gory too. Real gory.
Yeah. I'm a fan of that one.
Yeah. But he had another game that and that's the one that I do not get nauseous ever about anything. From eating, from whatever. I just don't. But I played this game where you're it's kind of like soccer or something, but you're floating around and you have this disc or something. And
I don't know that one.
It's futuristic, and you have like these little jetpacks or something. But man, that just took me right out of commission.
So as soon as you're using the jetpacks, start making you motion sick.
Oh, and yeah, because then you're just like you can't just like suddenly stop. You're just still kind of drifting, and then you have to like try and turn and yeah, it's like it's in an anti-gravity. I don't think I mentioned that. It's in an anti-gravity arena, so you're constantly kind of moving around. And of course, you know, you're not moving around in real life. You can't do that. And then I end up, I think it was when I was playing the zombie game, I ended up falling over, which I didn't think that I would do. But that game's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I really like how lost you can get in VR. It's cool. I'm waiting for kind of better.
Dude, there's a guy that was floating around with an actual jetpack around an airport recently. I think it was two of them, man. I think one of them was in England, didn't they? It was the second time that homeboy been doing that with a jetpack.
Really?
Out an airport?
By an airport, dude. I'm like, that guy's gonna be toast. He's gonna be splattered all over the front of a freaking airplane, a helicopter, you know, and not be good. But yeah, we're getting to that place, guys. We're getting to that place.
Other than the torture porn that Jack Campisi, for some reason, recommended, that it's called found footage. I watched The Greasy Strangler. I hadn't seen it.
Oh God, dude. That's one of the craziest movies I've ever watched.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of indie films, artistic indie films, and this right away it just looked like like a raunchy Napoleon Dynamite or something. That's what it reminded me of, and I'm embarrassed to say that I loved it. It
Yeah.
was sometimes it got a little. It was very Family Guy in its humor, where a joke just goes on, and sometimes that got old, but and sometimes some of the comedy didn't work for me, but it was just outrageous, and I really, really liked it a lot. And I posted on Twitter that I had just seen it, and within like 15 minutes, Josh Mallerman sends me a message, and he's like, "Dude, I love that movie." And then he sent me a link to a short story that he had written, or a short film based on a short story that he had written, starring the younger guy in Greasy Strangler. I can't remember what the character's name is, but the dude with the comb over right here in front of his head with the big teeth. And it was a cool little short film. I can't remember.
It reminded me of Tim and Eric. When I just the preview of it, I saw 2 previews. One that looked like, oh, this looks like it would be, a Napoleon Dynamite-esque kind of thing. Tim and Eric, awesome show. And then I saw another one, and I was like, I don't think I could watch this.
It was not as raunchy as it's raunchy, but it's not as raunchy as I thought. Like I thought it was just going to be packed full of sex, and there's sex in there, but it's
it's packed full of dicks. Man. I mean, there's
there's more of that. There's more of that than anything. But there's just it's so quotable. There are so many quotable things in there. And I was talking to my son yesterday, and they were going to watch a movie, and I said, well, I texted him the day before. I was like, you have to watch this movie called The Greasy Strangler. I said, don't watch the trailer or anything. Just watch the movie. So he misunderstood me, watched the trailer, calls me the next day, and he's like, what are you having me watch? I said, did you watch the trailer? Because I wanted him to go in completely blind and just be like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I ended up, we were FaceTiming, and I said, well, I'm going to watch it now with my girlfriend. And so I made them have a viewing party with me for at least the first half hour, because I wanted to, I just wanted to hear him laugh, because I knew he would. I knew he'd crack up. So I watched it like 1.5 times.
That's a lot for The Greasy Strangler.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm good for a while, but it's one of those ones where it's like, if you know somebody, like I'm not going to go and watch it by myself, but you know how sometimes you can see a movie and you really like it. And if you find out somebody that is going to, really enjoy it, you can maybe watch it again with them.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know what? I haven't watched it since it came out, and I think Tim Meyer is the one who got me to watch it.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to revisit it, because it's like, I don't know if the movie is god awful or if it's brilliant or if it's both. Like, it's so strange and incomparable to anything else I think I've ever seen.
If it's bad, it's not because they didn't do that on purpose. I mean, it's not because it was any kind of an accident. They did exactly what they were wanting to do. It's really well done. It's not it's not just a bad movie. It's just that everything that's bad in it is there for a reason. It's there on purpose.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's a good movie, but it means they did exactly what they wanted to do.
It's like Tim and Eric, right? I mean, Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what's that?
I don't know that show.
Oh, what?
No.
Oh, dude, that's my
whole
what moment. That's okay. So you guys could have made fun of me, for not ever seeing Phantasm or Jaws or a lot of other movies.
Jaws,
but
Jaws.
I did not see Jaws. That's true. Yeah, I have since redeemed myself on this since the show began. Yeah, you're not the only one, Jason. You are not alone. Believe me, dude. There's a whole bunch of people that were like, "What?"
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was messed up.
My son works third shift, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go take a nap." We watched like a half hour of it, and I said, "Okay." And he just sent me a message that I just got. It said, "That movie was horrible.
Oh no.
So-
No. Yeah. No, Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. Is, you know, it's really bad, but bad on purpose. And it's comedic genius, but like the kind that's like avant-garde. And so a lot of people might watch it and be like, what the heck am I, you know, it's almost like the Clockwork Orange thing. And you're like, what are you doing to me kind of moment watching that. But at the same time, it is hilarious, you know, and they're crude, right? They're crude. Some of it's way over the line. Sometimes the jokes don't hit, but they're like spaghetti, you know, the guy who hides behind the little fake bush in an office and then jumps out to pretend he spooks people, and it's all recorded. And dude, it's hilarious. And a lot of it, you know, they did a movie, I forget what it was called, man, $1 billion movie or something like that. And just totally absurd and not very good, almost like Between Two Ferns level stuff.
Oh, God.
You
Like
know, you know what I
exorcism.
mean by that? Like it's intentionally done to look like crap. And because it's intentionally done to look like crap, like those commercials that for a while were kind of trending where they were just really stupid. They looked vintage, almost like something you could imagine from the 80s or whatever, that are really poorly done. Even the video quality was that way, but it was intentionally so to stand out. And it became so popular, it kind of trended, and a lot of people started doing it and lost, you know, its pizzazz anyway. But that's what it is. And so that's why I thought, you know, when I saw the preview, I'm like, this looks like a Tim and Eric thing.
So, and then briefly, I watched the second season of Slasher, which I avoided watching this show for a long time because I wasn't really hearing anything about it. And I thought, this is going to be really dumb. And have you seen Slasher, Jason?
I have not yet. No.
Oh, I'm telling you what, man, I don't know why people aren't talking about this. There's just some shows that I didn't hear people talking about. Hannibal or Bates Motel or Channel Zero. And I mean, more people talk about some of those now, but when I saw them, they, you know, people weren't really, and this is one that I never hear about. And the first season was good, but the second season was exceptionally good. And they don't hold back on any of the gore at all. It's a really gory show.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and it's in I think each season's like 8 episodes. But the second one is just they're both seasons actually are like whodunits, like murder mysteries kind of thing. Like you're not following this, you know, mutated killer around and just watching kills. There's some great writing. Not all of the acting is all that great, but I mean, if you find that aren't enjoying the first season, then man, at least watch the second. It's really, really good. And
Okay.
I wish I could talk to you about it because I'm a little blown away by some things, but I would never want to ruin this. So I'm going to quit talking about it. So
Someone just mentioned this on Final Guys this week or last week. Somebody just watched this.
yeah,
It's Tim or Jack, and they said the same thing. They loved it.
it's fantastic.
All right.
Completely underrated. I don't know why nobody's talking about it, but yeah. Can you even talk about anything that you're watching or doing other than Amityville or reading that isn't reserved for?
Well, so far this week I've only been watching Amityville. I've been working my way through slowly. My life is the worst. The Haunting of Bly Manor. I think we're 5 episodes
Yeah, I've been
into
wanting
that.
to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very different from The Haunting of Hill House, but
And the
It's
only
all right.
reason why people are comparing the two is because it's the same director, right?
same writer, director,
Okay.
mostly the same actors, different roles, kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I see that a lot, and people are always like, yeah, it's good, but it's not like, and it's, well, what does it matter? I mean, how are they linked? Just the same writer and director, and the fact that it's on Netflix.
and the title's similar and same actors, and, you know, and it's a
same
giant,
actors. Okay.
giant haunted mansion. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
So it's I think everybody was expecting almost a sequel to The Haunting of Hill House, and that's not what it is. It's more of like a gothic
Okay.
horror kind of thing. It's not even too much horror so far in the first five episodes, but it's picking up. It's not like I don't like it. It's just not what I was expecting. And I think that's what a lot of people have been saying so far.
I liked Hill House, but and I've heard other people say this too, but I didn't like the last 20 minutes or something. I laughed so hard during the last 20 minutes that I was literally in tears. I couldn't believe how bad the
Wow.
movie was. Yeah, I was just seriously, I was in tears from laughing.
Yeah, I don't know that
right
they
now
stuck the
I-
landing so much, but
No, it just felt so. I can't even remember. I just remember thinking, "Are you kidding me right now?" This is because it's well written. The acting is great. Some of the decisions that they make, I like the fact that some of the episodes are different. Like there's one episode that has like 3 or 4 takes in the thing, and that's it. Like just really long, like 15-minute shots of almost like it could be a play, like at the funeral home.
Mhm.
And I like that they did all this creative stuff with it. And it had I'm not a big fan of jump scares, but man, it had one in there that about made me poop my pants. And but the ending, wow, it's so bad. And
I didn't quite hate it as much as you did. I think the guy behind it, Mike Flanagan, is maybe the best director working in horror right now. He's just amazing. So
Yeah,
anything
he's
he
done
does,
some
I'll
great stuff.
watch. Yeah.
he did Gerald's Game, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, which is, I mean, if you can take that book and turn it into a film, I don't even know. I would not want to handle that screenplay.
I would have said it was unfilmable before
Yeah,
actually seeing the
for
movie
sure.
and being entertained.
Yeah, my expectations were low when I saw it, and when I heard it was even being made in a film, I was like, "Well, this was just going to be like a Lawnmower Man thing, where it's not even. It's just called Gerald's Game, but it's not has nothing to do with the actual book." I was so impressed with that movie, and so impressed.
Have you seen Dr. Sleep?
Oh yeah,
I think that's just genius. I think he just nailed it.
it is. It's to take a movie that King doesn't cringe at and embraces, but still use all that Kubrick stuff. We're visiting Kubrick's world and not necessarily King's world.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really happy moment for me, man. I think I had a smile on my face through most of that movie, just revisiting Kubrick's Overlook.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Have you seen it, Jeremiah?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned this because we were going to that was between seeing oh my gosh, what was the movie I said earlier that we watched?
Insidious.
So Insidious.
No, we didn't watch Insidious.
2.
No, it wasn't Insidious. Did I say Insidious?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sinister,
dude. What did I really say Insidious?
yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably did, man. I probably did. Which
We'll
that
be putting
doesn't
that
make,
on loop.
yeah, we'll edit that out. No, dude, keep it. Yeah, it's a lot of pie on my face. But no, yeah, Sinister, man. So it was between Sinister and watching Dr. Sleep, and I think due to time or something like that, time constraint, we ended up watching Sinister instead. But I want to watch Dr. Sleep. And so I haven't seen it yet, man. I really want to, really badly. It's on my list, but I have not seen
This is a great movie. I don't know if it's appropriate for the kids. I can't remember. I know there's one scene in there that it's pretty.
One scene's rough.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't think it's too bad. But that one scene it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I think it's a genius film. Yeah. To make a sequel to the Shining movie and a sequel to the Shining book and make everyone from both camps happy is, again, something I would not have thought would have been possible. And he just crushes it.
Yeah, it's like legendary, actually. Because it's a major rift, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And he somehow pulled it off. I don't know anybody that has watched that and not thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
So
I'm pumped up to see it, man.
I'm trying to think. I might be watching The Ninth Gate tonight or tomorrow. I want to try and sneak that one in. It's kind of a favorite of mine. Have you guys ever seen that?
The Ninth Gate,
Who's in that?
Johnny Depp. It's from maybe 99. It's a Roman Polanski film.
I saw it. So it's only 99?
I want to say it came out around 99, somewhere around there.
Okay, I must not have seen it since then because I don't remember anything about it.
It's very unique. It has a really different tone. It's quirky, but it's about devil worship and a book that supposedly can open the ninth gate of hell. And it's something I revisit every couple of years because I just think it's so well done. So I might try to
think
sneak
I've
that.
seen it, but I don't remember though, man. But then again, I thought that I had not seen In the Mouth of Madness, and I actually had.
Oh,
Dude, trust me, it'd been a long time, man. And I put this list together a while back with Chad, where he's like, just write down all the horror movies, because I've hardly seen any before doing the show anyway. And so I list the handful, a couple dozen that I had seen, and this is actually, I think, the first one since we began doing this that as I watched it, there were like little snippets, man, that started to, I was like, I think I've seen that before. And then it got to a certain point, I'm like, I've seen at least this scene before, at least that scene. And I may have stepped out for a minute or whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. But I don't know if I've seen The Ninth Gate.
That's so crazy, because I purposely picked 3 movies that were all panned in the 90s that I thought, I like all 3 of these movies, and I wish more people knew about them and watched them and appreciated them. Had I known you hadn't seen like Jaws, I probably would have picked,
Oh, well, I've seen it since, man. I've seen. Okay, what episode was that, Chad? What episode was that, dude? Because look, man, straight up, I got mad phobias. There's certain things, man. I'm like, oh, heck no, I ain't seen that. You're nuts. And kind of the way I grew up, in the house that we grew up in, I couldn't even have He-Man toys for a while. I had to give them to a kid named Gabriel. I've had a grudge against him ever since. I've tried finding him.
I heard you talking about that on an episode.
Yeah, dude, it's for real, man. It's like giving your He-Man toys away, dude. You never live it down. Never live it down. You're like, you better have kept on to them, man, because I'm an adult now. I'd like them back. I'm an adult. But no, I hadn't seen Jaws, and it was oh my gosh, man, it was an excellent episode with Jeremy Wagner. And we're reviewing Phantasm, and he brought it up because it's like his favorite book. Right. It's one of those, it's the book that kind of got him into the whole thing. And, he's got first edition and stuff like this and a bunch of editions of it. And he was showing his library and he showed it. And I just threw it out there.
He owns one of those yellow buoys from Jaws.
Wow. Dude, that guy's he's loaded, man. Homeboy's loaded. He's got like a factory filled with stuff that's like dope. Yeah. I said, man, this guy's amazing.
He just showed his home theater the other day. He's pretty modest about it though, but he just showed a clip from they were going to watch a movie and they showed his home theater, and it looks like a theater, man. And he's
Jeremy Wagner.
Yeah, Jeremy Wagner.
He's a guitarist for death metal band Broken Hope.
Yeah.
And he's an author.
Yeah.
But he had a life-size alien, a life-size predator, and a life-size something.
Frankenstein, dude, wasn't it? Remember that thing?
Dude, that one's way bigger than life size.
Dude, yeah, that was like what, 6 tall. Yeah, it was massive, dude. It was really, really tall.
Wow.
And he's got a factory. He says, yeah, I got like a warehouse thing over there, and it's got stuff. And he takes pictures of it. But he's a real kind of down-to-earth dude, though. And I wouldn't have known, kind of like even where he was on the financial spectrum. I'm like a thousandaire, you know what I mean? So like, I'm in that level, of things. And with dozens of people who love my stuff. And so
are you about to out Jeremy's net worth?
No, I'm not gonna out it, but it's on live. It's not his net worth. No, of course not.
I know, but you know what I mean.
See it. You can they wrote about on the news, they wrote about the house and what kind of house it was. And it was kind of cool to see that, and that's all I'll say. It was kind of cool, and we can edit that out, but I don't think he cares, man. He has pictures on freaking boats and
but I know, and he posts pictures, but he doesn't come across as like he owns. Are you familiar with Slayer, Jason? I don't even know what kind of music you listen to. Okay, well, Jeff Hanneman, their original guitar player, died, and Jeremy owns all of Jeff's guitars.
Really?
He bought them all. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you go to his Instagram page or his Facebook page, you just get green with envy because he's hanging out with all of these people. That's like, how are you even, and he's friends with, people in Anthrax and Metallica and stuff. But he's so down to earth.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
He's like a Johnny Q public kind of guy who is also friends with people who are amazing. But he brought up Jaws. And I just off the cuff was like, I've never seen Jaws. And I wasn't thinking how dumb that sounded out loud. I'd never like, I didn't never think that would be like, oh, that's stupid. And I said it and everything was
Too
like,
embarrassing to say out loud.
just stopped, man, right away. Boom. Stopped. And his jaw just dropped to the ground. And he's like, what? And so we made a reaction video to it. And I made a reaction because he wanted to see it with me. It's the only reason I did it. Is he's like, he wishes that he would have been able to watch Phantasm with me, and he wishes he would have been able to watch Jaws with me and to see my face while I was watching it. And so I made a reaction video. It's not as cool as you guys, man. You guys have special effects and junk, man, karate moves and stuff, dude.
So bad it's good. Oh,
yeah,
God.
so bad it's good.
It's just such a cluster.
It's really good, man. Yeah,
which we all know where they got the idea for that show from.
Yeah, Paleo
Right,
Cheese
Jeremy?
1.0.
Yeah, Paleo Cheese. Yeah, the videos that we were making, like what, 13 years ago. Or
Oh my
longer
God,
than that, I
dude,
don't
yeah.
know.
Laser
I meant to
blast.
send you one. I meant to send you one, Jason, so you could
Are they on YouTube?
see it before. Yeah, some of them are on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
look
even
those up.
inspired a Halloween costume this year, man. There's this guy, man. He's dressed up in tinfoil. He even had the cod piece you had, Chad. And I was like, it's
Yeah.
obvious that he got it from that. Now, I think he was probably afraid to do the eye holes like you did, where you with a pencil straight straight through the tinfoil in the face, because he actually had like a cutout. It looked more like a knight in shining armor type thing. The dude was obviously ripped off.
Yeah, we did
yeah.
Italian Spider-Man. We only did like 4 movies. We did Italian Spider-Man, Laser Blast,
Mhm,
Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and Black Dynamite.
mhm.
Wow, those are 4 solid choices though.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We dress up, we dress up to get into, what we
Character
were doing
and
and
stuff,
everything,
yeah.
into characters. We had like
It's a
it's
lot
kind of-
like what you guys are doing, obviously. I mean, but when you look at it and you stand in next to yours, it looks like we filmed ours on a potato. And
we did. We
pretty
filmed
much,
it on a potato. That's what we whittled one with a knife. It was that long ago, man. You're like 13 years ago. What's the tech back then? You're like potatoes. It was potatoes.
pretty close. But yeah, we do the kind of like, we have a kind of a themed thing, and then we show clips of us laughing at the video, edited together, of us laughing at different scenes, and then we talk about it at the end. But
Wow, that does sound familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
you
know
guys,
you guys would
have
ever
cool
realize.
stuff. You have like actual. Well, and we included a couple clips from the film, like "Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park."
Yeah.
We included a couple. I think even the chicken, where he squeezes the pack of smokes out of the chicken on Italian Spider-Man. It's a real classic.
Oh, there's
scene.
there's a handful of clips for the Italian Spider-Man one and
Yeah.
Laser Blast.
Yeah, and Laser Blast. Yeah, and so we had that. But you guys are really good at it, man. You guys are really good
Thanks.
at it.
I always
And-
feel like we suck.
no, dude, it
We're
was
getting
awesome,
better.
man.
I enjoy them. I just watched the one, I can't remember what the name of the movie, but that heavy metal dude Thor was in it.
Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. When I first saw him, when I was watching the thing, I was like, that chick looks weird, because I thought it was a woman.
I mean, he does have giant memories in that movie.
This, I think, was when he had a shirt on, but the way his hair was feathered, and he had a ton of makeup on.
He wears
And-
blouses in the movie too, so
Yeah.
like literally wears blouses.
But oh my gosh, man. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing that Jeremiah and I would rent and watch. And
Yeah, I'm looking. We haven't done one in like 6 months. We've got 2 filmed. We're hoping to get back. We actually want to start doing a weekly release, because I'd like to see if we can monetize that.
Yeah.
In like 6 months or so, something like that. Because
yeah, you put a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, that would be cool. I noticed that. Yeah, the newest one is, but yeah, it's like 6 months or
ago,
something.
Yeah.
I figured it was because the Rona. I mean, you guys
It
had
was, yeah.
it's because the Rona.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's a big bummer, man. I mean, but you took, at least one of you took precautions. You know what I'm saying? At least one of you did.
It was him.
It was him. You're like, I'm not taking any precautions.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
I heard beer kills it. So what's the problem?
Yeah, man.
You should do that,
Yeah.
man. And I hope that works out, because
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing I can see a lot of people, looking forward to every week or whenever you do them.
Well, I hope so. I mean, if I could just basically break even with it, if we could get have it pay for the movies and stuff, and
Yeah.
maybe some camera lenses or whatever. That'd be great. I'd be happy with it because it's a ton of fun. We just get together, watch bad movies, put the setup and just talk about it. Video editing takes forever, but it's a good time.
Right.
It's a good excuse for us to get together.
And there's
have
no
a laugh.
shortage of bad movies. So
No, there is not.
you have to, if you do that, you have to do Deathbed, the bed that eats. It's a must see for anyone who, hates themselves. So
Have you done Were Rooster?
No, I haven't even heard of that one.
That's another level, Chad. That's pretty bad, but I don't know. I haven't seen the one you're talking about, man, about the bloodthirsty couch or whatever, man. I don't know about that thing. And so, or whatever the one you just said, the man
Deathbed,
eating
the bed that eats.
The bed that eats what? Yeah. I haven't seen that, but Were Rooster dude was painful enough, that when Chad started watching, he didn't get very far, and he's like, dude, I don't know what I just did. Like, I'm gonna have to call Jeremiah.
Yeah, I almost shut it off and said, we're not doing this.
Yeah, he did. And I watched part of it. And I got through probably about the same amount of time, and I'm like, why was Chad doing this to me? Like, what is this crap? Oh man.
Yeah, that was us when we watched Howling 7. That is the worst film I've ever seen. It's so bad.
7.
Number 7.
Yeah. I've only ever seen Howling 1 and 7. I just jumped right to 7. And there are no werewolves in it.
What?
Yeah.
There's none?
None. There's at the very end, I think you see one in like a really terrible slow motion thing, and then it dies off screen. I mean, it's a pile.
That's terrible.
That's the country singer or whatever, or the
like ton of line dancing. Yeah. Ton of line dancing. Full songs. People walking around, eating chili. I mean, I can't even describe it to people. My mouth was just hanging open the whole time I was watching it.
Some guy with a little bit of money who's just like, I'm gonna throw a barbecue and we're gonna film it, and somebody grab a werewolf costume and we'll figure it out once you get here.
Yeah, that's literally what it looked like. It must have been like a tax shelter for something.
Let's get into our let's finish part 1 here and get into, so we're not up all night, into the mouth of madness.
Yeah. In the mouth of madness.
Yeah, in the mouth of madness.